Championships. Introducing first, weighing today the combined weight of 340 pounds from the Caribbean
The bell sounded and we're off here at the main event. You've got CloudLee, Brody Lee, and Cloudy in the ring right now with the Caribbean Connection, Coconut Jones and Maximo, and Brody Lee, NWA New York's master of the Ric Flair style chops, just nearly collapsed the lungs of Maximo, who's on his feet, and this is Coconut Jones. And they have reversed their fortunes against the team of CloudLee. There is no tag team division anywhere that is hotter than NWA New York, and there's no building as hot right now anywhere in Rochester than the All-Star Sports Arena here in Arundecoit, New York, as NWA New York goes extreme. June 26, 2010, a day that will live in infamy here in NWA New York. And Cloudy disrespectfully spitting on Maximo. As you're spending a little bit too much time celebrating, gentlemen, you may want to take on and take care of the Caribbean Connection. But you have to wonder, will the steel cage be enough to hold these four men? And I envy not the referee Richard had assigned this match. Coconut Jones into the corner. Brody Lee meets a boot. Cloudy tries his hand at it and meets two knees. And Coconut Jones is going to fly. Next, both Cloudy and Brody Lee down with one thrust kick. Maximo's to his feet. And they've got Cloudy where they want him, into the turnbuckle. And now they focus their attention on Brody Lee, the other half of CloudLee. We have a new entrant into the steel cage. We have Kyle and Evan McCloud. Kyle, who retired and has come back because he felt the drive, the urge to be a champion. He and his brother are two of the most popular men and perhaps one of the most popular tag teams, and they have had their issues with the egomaniac Trip to Hell, Hellcat, and Triple X as Coconut Jones is decapitated nearly in the ring by Brody Lee. The McClouds right now celebrating with their fans, and they are a fresh competitor, a fresh entrant, and they won't back down from a fist fight. These are two angry Irishmen who are always looking for a reason to fight. Ireland wins at the World Cup, and they still fight each other. These guys once got into a fight over whether Barney was Irish or not. They like to fight on any day that begins, or ends, in the letter Y. And Brody Lee tries to use his strength, but the McClouds are able to take him down and plant him face first into the ring. We now have 3 tag teams inside the steel cage, as we are at knees to the back of the spine on Cloudy. McCloud, kick to the face. We are at the main event here and continuing the tradition. We are in Irondequoit, New York, and we have seen all hell break loose with Extreme Rules matches. You don't want to trade slaps with McCloud. And Maximo and Evan McCloud are mixing it up in the corner. And McCloud could be going outside the ring, or outside the cage, excuse me. Not even a steel cage can hold these 3 teams. And the referee is thrown down. There really are no rules. And Cloudy and Kyle are in no man's land, as Brody Lee is taking care of business outside the ring. Power Trip to Hell is about to hit the ring. There's Johnny Kayfabe, Hellcat, and Triple X. And these men went through despicable lengths to retain the titles. As you may remember at our last show, when they actually attacked the fiance of Kyle McCloud and basically held him hostage to say the words, "I quit," so they would retain their tag team titles. You have 2 men who will run over Santa Claus to keep those belts, and they will do anything in their power. And right now they are taking apart poor Coconut Jones, who is left on his own to fend for himself. His partner Maximo Suave is outside the ring. The McClouds and Cloudy are going at it. And Kayfabe just lost his candlestick. And Kyle McCloud is swinging. And it has to be eating at the McClouds. They must want a Power Trip to Hell, Triple X, and Hellcat. And Brody Lee about to enter the mix, as he has got the candlestick. And he's swinging at everybody. And Coconut Joe's in the ring. He is fighting back. But he needs his partner Maximo, and it looks like he's going to get Brody Lee, as the action is spilling out everywhere. They're about approximately 25 feet, maybe 30 away from my broadcast position. Maximo gets introduced to the steel cage the hard way. The action is going fast and furious in our main event, as it is for the gold. And Brody Lee is just getting lit up by Hellcat. And the McClouds are getting ready to rearrange things. As Maximo could be, he reverses and escapes being the victim. We've got a cover in the ring. And Coconut Jones, I believe that is, was able to kick out. And Brody Lee with a kick to Triple X. And that kendo stick has just been split. We have not seen kayfabe in a while. And Maximo just waylaid with that kendo stick. And Hellcat and Brody Lee are fighting over who's going to beat up Coconut Jones and CloudLee out of nowhere. Onto, I believe, for my position, that to be Evan McCloud. And Coconut Jones is just getting pounded on. And we've had a miscue. Triple X has hit his tag team partner. And he's got Coconut by the head and into the cage. Fans, there's action all over the arena tonight. We have bodies strewn just like a car crash. As NWA New York is living up to its billing of going extreme, and CloudLee and Gravity just met. And Gravity has introduced CloudLee into the ring barrier. And Brody Lee is sneaking and slithering his way back into the ring as Triple X is pounding on Coconut Jones, who is taking the beating in this match, and Triple X has just been introduced into the cage by Brody Lee. Man, Joe, this is just simply amazing. Words can barely describe the carnage and the extreme lengths that these teams are going to make their mark here in NWA New York, which has perhaps the best, and I'll say this, perhaps the greatest tag team depth of any promotion running today, and I'm including the big two in that one. And CloudLee is going to be having a very lonely Saturday night. If I could dust off an old favorite, crushed nuts are now being served in aisle 3. Our brave cameramen are in the mix, bringing you folks at home watching on DVD the action straight into your living room. As I'm trying to make out which one of the McClouds that is that CloudLee is just going to town on. And Brody Lee is a dangerous man with that kendo stick. I just hope the insurance is paid up here at the All-Star Sports Arena in Arundecoit, New York. As poor Coconut Jones has been taking a pounding. I'm willing to bet for the last 8 to 10 minutes, and we have part of a kendo stick getting tossed into the ring. And Coconut Jones is slowly getting to his feet. And we have total anarchy breaking out. This is not for the faint at heart, people. And Coconut Jones is climbing to the top. You have got to be kidding me. Coconut, what are you thinking? The man has been beaten on for the better part of 10 minutes. And he's climbing the mountain with no way down. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, get prepared to eat your heart out maybe. As Coconut Jones is on top of the steel cage. Get ready to fly. Good Lord. Coconut Jones a la Jimmy Snuka on the Don Morocco, a la Jimmy Snuka on the Bob Backlund, has just taken a splash, this time outside, and Brody Lee is a little bit too close for comfort right now. Keep it near there, guys. And here comes CloudLee. He's got a chair. As he is a few feet behind me. I don't want any part of this. CloudLee looks out on his feet. Brody Lee has disappeared and has now reappeared. As the action is getting crazy, and Maximo on a house of fire is swinging at Hellcat. The fans are standing on their feet. They've paid for the chair, but are not using it for this match because the wrestlers are using it. We've got one of the McClouds in the ring right this time. We have got objects being swung outside. And folks, I'm trying to see on my monitor, I believe that was Kyle McCloud that just got introduced into the steel cage. And now Maximo gets a kick to the groin by Hellcat. All's fair in love and war tonight. It's anything goes. As Hellcat said it's over, but he gets interrupted by, I believe that's Kyle, yes it is, Kyle McCloud. Excuse me, Evan McCloud, who is going for the Boston Crab.
I'm just Ed Davis, I'm the Indian of the group.
And Buzz Mahoney making another special guest appearance. Folks, I'd like to say it's crazy, but I think we passed crazy about 5 minutes ago. Brody Lee right now, who is at home in a steel cage. He has a history in NWA New York, especially in this building in the steel cage. Tilt-a-whirl slam on the Evan McCloud. Hellcat trying to get to his feet. Brody Lee standing like a giant, just having his way. And his partner in crime, CloudLee, has made it back. Folks, just 2 minutes ago, he was standing perhaps with the arm's length of me, looking dazed and confused, glazed over. And right now he is back in the ring as Maximo knocks Brody Lee out, and CloudLee is taking matters into his own hands and tosses Maximo inside the steel cage. There is no give on these cages, ladies and gentlemen. These things can cut human flesh. I have seen it done. This has been anarchy at its best. As you've got for the premier tag teams, the Caribbean Connection, CloudLee, Power Trip to Hell, and the McClouds tearing each other apart in and out of the steel cage. And I don't know why CloudLee is talking to the ref. He's somewhat intimidating him. and gets dumped on his skull for his problems. 1, 2. If I am not mistaken, that's perhaps maybe the second or third pinfall attempt of the night. And Maximo with 2 super kicks. We got a 1, we got a 2, and we got CloudLee breaking it up. Who knows if Maximo would have put away one of the McClouds. As the fans are on their feet and going nuts. Folks, if you aren't here tonight, you're missing a hell of a great show live. As Coconut is thrown into the 1, 2, and CloudLee there for to break up the count. I apologize for being a little winded, folks. The action is fast and furious, hot and heavy, and totally amazing. It is now CloudLee and Maximo are trading shots, with Maximo getting the better. And roundhouse punch by CloudLee. And Brody Lee is climbing the steel cage. It was 4 years ago that Brody Lee beat Glenn Spector inside the steel cage. And just jumps down onto opponents. And one of the McCloud suplex onto Brody Lee. And Hellcat getting hit by Kyle McCloud, and that's got to feel good to Kyle, who has a personal stake and a personal vengeance against both Hellcat and Triple X. As I mentioned before, these 2 men, if you can call them that, actually threaten his fiance. And these scoundrels who hold the NWA New York tag team titles are hoping to escape tonight with them. As Rochester's not just gone to the extreme, but we have rewritten what extreme is all about. And CloudLee going to work on, I believe that's Evan McCloud in the ring. Brody Lee trying to stumble back to his feet. We still have power trip from hell on the outside. Maximo thrown into the corner, and CloudLee burst into like house of fire, and Brody Lee comes in after and nearly kicks Maximo's head off, and CloudLee in with a version of the Bronco Buster. Fans, this action is just totally amazing. And we nearly had a 3 count. Perhaps only the 4th in this match. As these men, these teams have thought more about tearing each other apart than actually winning the match. But I guess in a match like this, that's what you have to do, is to go to the extreme, and the McClouds, they're getting that second win. And Brody Lee is on the unfortunate end of it, as is CloudLee. Could we have a twofer? As he stands on top of Brody Lee and right into CloudLee. The cover, we got the 1, we've got the 2, and CloudLee kicks out. Perhaps a little bit too much hesitation allowed CloudLee to regain his breath. Folks, do not adjust your set. There is not one person sitting. Everybody's on their feet. Even the guy in the wheelchair is on his feet. This match is, like I said, gone to the extreme and beyond. Nowhere else will you see tag team wrestling like this. Going to the well once too often. And Brody Lee, the master of the kick, the mule kick. Did we have a 3? I don't know. No, the ref's waving it off. He's saying 2 2/3. And CloudLee is having a fit about it. It's not the time to have fits, gentlemen. It's the time to do the business and time to go for the win. Brody Lee now is ascending the top of the cage yet again. He's spending too much time jaw-jacking with the fans. And we have weapons being swung ringside. And CloudLee stands. Oh, we got chairs. We've had kendo sticks. And I'm really hoping the insurance is paid up on this place. As Brody Lee right now stands alone in the ring. And I think that might be the end for Kyle McCloud, whose head was stuck between the foot of Brody Lee and that unforgiving steel cage. And Brody Lee looks a little bit spent. As he's once again spending too much time jaw-jacking with the fans ringside. We haven't seen much of Maximo in the past few minutes. We haven't seen much of a trip from hell in the ring yet. And Kyle McCloud is not faring too well, as one can only pray that that steel cage does not break loose. And the fans are chanting for Kyle right now. They're trying to get behind him. As CloudLee is fighting back. He's fighting back. Shots to CloudLee, shots to Brody Lee. It's what he has to do right now. He's all on his own. He's got no partner. He's been taken out. But he spent too much time, and Brody Lee's got him in his clutches, and it's just ramming him into the steel cage. Oh my! That has got to be it. A motivation of the code breaker. That's it. The McClouds are gone. And then there was 3. Give the McClouds credit. They fought and were gallant in their fight tonight. But a momentary lapse of reason allowed Brody Lee to take Kyle in his clutches and set up with CloudLee for a motivation of a code breaker. But right now, Brody Lee and Hellcat are exchanging chops. As Triple X is just unceremoniously dumped Kyle McCloud out of the ring. It is down to this. It is down to a power trip from hell. Caribbean Connection and the team of CloudLee, as Maximo is making his way back, climbing over the steel cage. And he delivers an axe handle to the back of Brody Lee. There is perhaps no more dangerous match than a steel cage. This takes years off your life and your career, and you had 3 teams now left battling for survival, battling for a title. As right now, power trip from hell, and Brody Lee. And they got Coconut Jones in a bad way, a power suplex from the top rope. And the referee don't know why he's not cool. And Brody Lee right now is on the move. He's got Coconut Jones right where he wants him. And he just nearly slams Coconut into the steel cage back first. There is no break, there is no give. And the grades from that steel cage have to be digging into the back of Coconut Jones. As CloudLee now turns their attention to his partner, Maximo Suave, who apparently is going to get the same treatment. 3 teams left, but only one standing on their feet, and that's CloudLee. And we nearly had the second elimination tonight. I am just happy, ladies and gentlemen, that these 3 teams are now inside the steel cage and nowhere near the announced position. This equipment is expensive. Right now it's CloudLee going to work. And I believe that is Triple X. Oh! And the cage can barely withstand these 3 teams. And the fans are showing their appreciation for what these men are going through. And Brody Lee talking trash about the eliminated Kyle McCloud. He needs to focus on what's going on in the ring, as he's nearly eliminated by Hellcat. Hellcat and Triple X are part of the Power Troop for Hell, the official longest reigning tag team champions in the history of NWA New York. And right now, it's a one-sided affair as Maximo and CloudLee are changing blows. Reversal. Oh! And that could be the end of Cloudy if Coconut or Maximo can go for the pin cover. They're on opposite sides of the steel cage. And Brody Lee just got kicked for his efforts, and another kick. There's some double team action. And we've got a 3. And then it was down to 2. The last 2 teams, the last 4 men left standing inside the steel cage. It's a Caribbean Connection against the Power Trip from Hell. And the pinfall was, I believe, broken up by the eliminated Brody Lee. And the crowd sort of serenading CloudLee as they exit. And Coconut Jones is almost sent flying out of the cage as his body falls limp. This does not bode well for the Caribbean Connection, as Maximo is powerbombed by Triple X. And one has to wonder how much gas is left in the tank of both Maximo Suave and Coconut Jones, who are putting up a game effort tonight. As Triple X now is climbing to the top. This is uncharted territory for a man the size of Triple X. And he's trailed in hot pursuit by Maximo, who himself now is climbing. A shot to the solar plexus, but Maximo unable to hold on. He is spent. And he crotches Triple X by pulling him down. And on the other side, you've got Coconut Jones and Hellcat. And you've got Maximo climbing the steel cage now. And Maximo's looking to escape. He's gonna drop. And you got Triple X at the door trying to get out. Maximo kicks the cage into his head. The bell has been rung. Your winners are the Caribbean Connection. This has to be let's get the announcement. The decision is official. The longest reigning, and Hellcat voicing his displeasure. Well, Coconut sort of took care of that. And he did the same to Triple X. Coconut Jones, Maximo Suave went through hell and high waters to end the longest reign of any tag team champion here in NWA New York. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going home with your new tag team champions being the Caribbean Connection, Coconut Jones, Maximo Suave. And these two men, they're on the brutal end of a beating, I'll admit it, for the majority of the match. And with Coconut Jones being in there at the beginning at the mercy of 3 different teams, you had to wonder, how much more do they have left in that proverbial gas tank? How much more was left? How much more fight was left? Well, we know, and we know the size of the hearts of these two men as they celebrate with tag team gold here at continuing the tradition. Rochester goes extreme. It went extreme. It went beyond extreme. And the Caribbean Connection was more than up for the challenge as they are walking out of the All-Star Sports Arena, walking out of the steel cage, walking out of continuing the tradition. The new NWA New York World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. For those of you who weren't here live, you missed a hell of an experience. The news was so nice, the announcer had to say it twice. History has been made in the words of the late, great Rochesterian Gorilla Monsoon. History has been made here at the All-Star Sports Arena. The Caribbean Connection have captured the tag team gold. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for buying this DVD. I want to thank you for enjoying the matches you saw here tonight. Come to an NWA New York show and see it live and in person. On behalf of the crew here at Principles of Design Productions, I am Handsome Randall Burton, and I am getting ready to sign off. Before we hit the replays, I want to leave you folks at home with this image of the new tag team champions.